The White County Board of Commissioners, with the oversight of the Federal Highway Administration and the Indiana Department of Transportation, is advancing a project to improve the intersection of Gordon Road, South Main Street, also known as US 421 and State Road 39, Airport Road, and City Park Loop within the city of Monticello. Amidst the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic, this recording is intended to provide the public the opportunity to participate in the public involvement process for this project without the need to attend the in-person public hearing. The information presented in this recording is the same as the information that will be presented at the public hearing. This presentation will introduce the project team and discuss how public involvement for the project is being conducted. We will also review the environmental documentation process, including the alternatives analysis. Then we will provide some more detail regarding the intersection improvement and outline the project's next steps. The project sponsor for this project is White County. Mike Kybers is the highway superintendent, and David Diner is the president of the Board of Commissioners. Lockmuller Group is the engineering consulting firm brought on to complete the design and environmental document for the project. Jessica Clark is the design project manager and is assisting White County administer the project through the federal aid process. Jessica Hawley is the design lead and is responsible for ensuring the technical design complies with INDOT and federal guidelines. Chris Kunkel prepared the project's environmental document, which will be reviewed and approved by both INDOT and the Federal Highway Administration. The City of Monticello has also been involved through project development, as the project is located within their municipal limits. Per the 2021 public involvement requirements set out by INDOT and the Federal Highway Administration, this project meets the requirements for allowing the opportunity for members of the public to request a formal hearing. Due to the complex nature of the project, White County decided to advance directly to a hearing to inform the public about the project, the associated environmental document, and the remaining project schedule. The intent of the hearing is to inform members of the public about the project and to solicit their comments. All public comments will be given full consideration and will be incorporated into the decision-making process. An in-person public hearing will be held on Thursday, August 19, 2021. The hearing will be held at the Monticello Christian Church, located at 105 Gordon Road, adjacent to the project site. The hearing will be conducted in the Forge building, which is immediately south of the main church building. Doors will open at 6 p.m. Eastern Time, and project team members will be available for informal discussion. At 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time, a formal presentation will be given. The content of the presentation will match this online version. Once the formal presentation concludes, there will be time for members of the public to submit formal comments regarding the project. Public comments may be submitted verbally during this time or provided in writing. All public comments received during the public comment period are transcribed, entered into the public record, and will be considered during the project's decision-making process. Following the public comment session, there will be another informal discussion period. Conversations with the project team during the informal discussion periods will not be considered a part of the public record. The hearing will conclude no later than 8 p.m. Eastern Time. A legal notice informing the public of the upcoming public hearing was published in the Monticello Herald-Journal twice, on July 29, 2021, and August 5, 2021. A copy of the legal notice of public hearing was sent to the project mailing list on July 27, 2021. The project mailing list includes project stakeholders, elected officials, and adjacent property owners. The notice also encourages participation in the public involvement process by providing instructions on how to view this presentation, review the project documents, and submit comments for the project team's consideration. If you would like to view the draft environmental document or preliminary design plans, they are available at the Monticello Union Township Public Library at 321 West Broadway Street in Monticello until September 3, 2021. The project documents may also be viewed on the White County website. Please refer to the link on the screen. Additionally, if you do not have reliable internet access to view the documents, you may contact Chris Kunkel from Lockmuller Group at 3502 Woodview Trace, Suite 150, Indianapolis, Indiana 46268, or by phone at 317-334-6818, or by email at ckunkel@lockgroup.com. That is CKUNKEL@lockgroup.com to request the documents be mailed to you. Comments regarding this project are being accepted until September 3, 2021. Comments may be submitted in multiple ways. For those viewing this pre-recorded presentation, a comment form may be found on the White County website and at the Monticello Union Township Public Library. These comment forms may be filled out and returned to Chris Kunkel via email, ckunkel@lockgroup.com. That's CKUNKEL@LOCHGROUP.com, or by mail at 3502 Woodview Trace, Suite 150, Indianapolis, Indiana 46268. In addition to submission of these comment forms, comments may also be sent via email to Chris Kunkel. During the formal public hearing on August 19th, all verbal comments made during the public comment session of the public hearing are recorded and transcribed by a court reporter. Comment forms will be made available at the hearing and may be completed and left there that evening or returned to Chris Kunkel prior to the September 3rd final comment date. Participation in the development of this project has included a variety of stakeholders who have been able to provide input on the project throughout its development. Stakeholders include representatives of White County and the City of Monticello. You, the residents and businesses of White County and the City of Monticello, are important stakeholders. Other entities having the potential to be affected by this project are emergency service providers, school districts, churches, and community organizations. In addition to these identified stakeholders, there are designated individuals and organizations that are included as stakeholders due to their affiliation with historic preservation. The development of this project is influenced by its use of federal funds, which has triggered conformity with the National Environmental Policy Act, known as NEPA. NEPA requires the project sponsor to analyze and evaluate the impacts of a proposed project to its surrounding natural and human environments. Critical to the NEPA process is the development of the project's purpose and need, against which various project alternatives can be evaluated. What is the transportation problem, and how do the various alternatives solve it? As part of the NEPA process, field investigations were conducted and were recorded in an environmental document. The draft Level 4 categorical exclusion document prepared for this project was released for public involvement by INDOT on July 8th, which permitted the project to advance to scheduling a public hearing and conducting public involvement activities such as this presentation. Following the public involvement activities, responses will be prepared to all comments received by the deadline. Comments and the associated responses will be included in the final environmental document, which will be made available at the same locations as the draft environmental document. A notice of availability will be advertised in the same locations as the advertisement for this hearing. The project is located at the south end of the city of Monticello, at the intersection of Gordon Road, Main Street, which is also State Route 39 and U.S. Route 421, South Airport Road, and City Park Loop. Near the intersection are the Monticello City Park to the northeast, the Monticello Christian Church to the southwest, and the Monticello White County Trail to the northwest. The existing intersection is signalized, and separate signal phases are necessary to clear queuing traffic from Gordon Road and Airport Road, which causes delays on the primary north-south route. The need for the project stems from the low level of service for the existing signalized five-legged intersection. Level of service is a metric used to measure traffic flow, of which there are 6 levels, from level of service A, which indicates free-flowing traffic, to level of service F, which indicates oversaturated traffic flow. A level of service C is considered acceptable. Lockmuller Group performed a traffic study in January of 2020 and found that due to projected traffic growth in the design year, 2042, the level of service of the current intersection will become level of service F, which is considered oversaturated and unacceptable. An additional need for the project is the lack of available accessible non-motorized transportation routes near the intersection. Currently, no pedestrian facilities exist connecting the north and south entrances of Monticello City Park, nor does the Monticello White County Trail connect to Monticello City Park presently. The purpose of the project is to improve the level of service of each approach at the intersection to at least a level of services C for the design year. The project also seeks to increase the availability of non-motorized transportation facilities and accessibility in the area of the intersection. The 2 alternatives considered for this project were a roundabout intersection and the no-build alternative. The roundabout intersection is preferred because it is well suited to handle the unique 5-legged geometry present at this intersection. This alternative satisfies the project's purpose and need by achieving a construction year level of service A and design year level of service B, while also introducing additional multimodal transportation facilities. The no-build alternative involves no intersection improvements. Though this alternative has no immediate cost and involves no environmental impacts, if intersection improvements are not made, the level of service of the intersection will become suboptimal, and there will be no improvement to the availability of non-motorized facilities in the area. This alternative was dismissed from further consideration because it does not address the purpose and need of the project. The environmental process weighs the project's likelihood to impact various environmental resources. These include impacts to the ecological or natural resources like streams, wetlands, and other waterways, floodplains, farmland, forests, and endangered species. Field investigations to document the presence of these resources was completed in late 2019. The project was found to have no substantial impact among these environmental resource types. The environmental document also considered human resources, including cultural resources, parks and trails, impacts to air quality and noise, and potential impacts to low-income or minority populations. Most notable among the elements investigated as part of the environmental study were the Monticello City Park and the Monticello Christian Church, which are both considered historic resources and are eligible for listing in the National Register of Historic Places. Due to that designation, the project's impact upon them had to be evaluated in great detail. It was determined that the project would have no adverse effect upon each historic resource. The Monticello City Park and the Monticello White County Trail are both publicly owned recreational resources and are entitled to Section 4F protection under the U.S. Department of Transportation Act, which seeks to avoid converting recreational resources to a transportation use. Impacts to these resources were determined to be minimal. The preferred alternative for the project involves the construction of a single-lane roundabout at the intersection. The roundabout includes one 18-foot wide circulating travel lane with a 12-foot 6-inch truck apron and a 2-foot wide mountable roll curb. The center of the roundabout will be a 115-foot diameter sodded area. All roadway approaches to the roundabout will shift to the south or southeast and require full-depth reconstruction and new curb and gutter. Oak Drive will retain its current alignment and will not tie into the roundabout. The preferred alternative also involves the extension of non-motorized facilities along Gordon Road and South Main Street. The improvement reconstructs the multi-use path known as the Monticello White County Trail to follow along the north side of Gordon Road's new alignment as it approaches the new roundabout. The trail will then travel north along the west side of South Main Street to the first commercial entrance drive and connect to previously constructed sidewalk at that location. A crosswalk will be constructed across South Main Street on the north side of the roundabout to connect to the south entrance to Monticello City Park. A 10-foot wide multi-use path will also be constructed within Monticello City Park and begin at a point to the southeast of the baseball fields and continue west along the current alignment of City Park Loop. As it approaches the South Park entrance, the path will travel north and end at the northern entrance of Monticello City Park. Americans with Disabilities Act compliant curb ramps will be constructed at all locations where the new non-motorized facilities will cross a roadway. The preferred alternative will also involve the installation of 14 40-foot tall light posts at various locations around the new roundabout. In the southeast corner of the Monticello City Park property, there are concrete markers delineating the park boundary. Due to the roundabout and new path construction, 27 of these concrete markers will be relocated to the new boundary of Monticello City Park. The sign for Monticello Christian Church at the southwest corner of the intersection will be removed during construction to accommodate the construction of the temporary access road between Gordon Road and South Airport Road. Once construction is complete, the sign will be relocated to a location near where it currently stands. In order to facilitate traffic around and through the intersection, a maintenance of traffic plan has been developed. The maintenance of traffic will occur in two phases. The first phase will require restricting access to South Main Street, also known as US 421 and State Route 39, to motorists traveling along Gordon Road and South Airport Road. A signalized temporary access road will be in place in the southwest quadrant of the intersection to maintain traffic between Gordon Road and Airport Road in both directions. The proposed detour will utilize Gordon Road, 6th Street, also known as County Road 500 East, and US 24 to facilitate traffic from Gordon Road and South Airport Road to South Main Street. During the first phase, 2 lanes, one in each direction, of South Main Street will remain open to through traffic. Additionally, the south entrance to the park, City Park Loop, will be closed. Access to the park will be maintained through the north entrance. The first phase is anticipated to be in place for approximately 7 months, beginning in the spring of 2023. The second phase of the maintenance of traffic plan will involve temporary lane closures for traffic along South Main Street, north and south of the new roundabout, with temporary signals in place to facilitate traffic. The construction of Oak Drive will also occur during this phase, which will close one lane of traffic at a time. Access to South Main Street from Gordon Road and South Airport Road will be restored. The temporary access road will be removed, and the disturbed area will be reseeded. The second phase is anticipated to be in place for 6 months and begin in the spring of 2024. Available online are 2 pamphlets addressing the concerns of right-of-way. The first is a blue pamphlet titled Acquisition: Acquiring Real Property for Federal and Federal Aid Programs and Projects. This document explains the process of buying property required for highway improvements. The project is anticipated to require 1.61 acres of new permanent right-of-way. The second pamphlet available online is green and is titled Relocation: Your Rights and Benefits as a Displaced Person under the Federal Relocation Assistance Program. This document explains the process and your rights as a relocated person. The project does not require the relocation of any businesses or residences, but a second pamphlet is also available that describes your rights as a relocated property owner associated with a federal aid project. All right-of-way purchased for the project will comply with the Uniform Act of 1970, which requires all federal, state, and local governments to offer just compensation for any acquisition. The compensation offer is not allowed to be less than the fair market value of the property. Once an agreement is reached between the county and the owner will be asked to sign an acceptance offer and the deed of transfer. Should no agreement be attainable, mediation may be pursued as a way to determine if a mutually agreed upon amount may be reached. If not, condemnation proceedings on the property may be advanced. The total estimated cost of construction of this project is $2,777,520. Final approval of the environmental document is planned to occur in September 2021. Construction is anticipated to begin in April 2023. The project's in-person public hearing will be held on Thursday, August 19, 2021. The hearing will be held at the Monticello Christian Church, 105 Gordon Road. The project team will be convening in the Forge Building, which is south of the main church building. Doors will be open at 6 p.m. Eastern Time, and the formal presentation will begin at 6:30. Open house sessions will occur before and after the formal presentation and comment session, during which the public can informally interact with the project team. As stated earlier, there are several ways that you may officially submit comments during the public comment period. For those watching this pre-recorded presentation, the project documents may be viewed on the White County website or at the Monticello Union Township Library. Comment forms may be found in the same locations as the project documents. Completed comment forms may be filled out and returned to Chris Kunkel via email at ckunkel@lockgroup.com. That's CKUNKEL@LOCHGROUP.com, or by mail sent to 3502 Woodview Trace, Suite 150, Indianapolis, Indiana 46268. For those who plan to attend the August 19th in-person hearing, all verbal comments made during the public comment session of the public hearing will be recorded and transcribed by a court reporter to be added to the project record. Comment forms will be made available at the hearing and may be completed and left there that evening, or returned to Chris Kunkel prior to the September 3rd final comment date. Following the public hearing, the public and stakeholders will be able to provide comments on the project through Friday, September 3rd, 2021. Again, all comments received by this time will be given due consideration in the decision-making process. The project team will respond to all comments in the final environmental document, which will be made available at all the same locations housing the information for this hearing: the White County Public Library, and on the project webpage. Following the approval of the environmental document, we will communicate the decisions made and the availability of the final documents if you are on the mailing list. This communication may happen through direct mailings, working with the local media, social media outlets, as well as through a paid legal notice. The project team thanks you for your interest in the Gordon Road Intersection Improvement Project. Comments are being accepted until Friday, September 3rd, 2021. Comment forms are available on the county website, the address appearing on the screen, and at the White County Public Library. Comments may be emailed or mailed to Chris Kunkel with Lockmuller Group. We welcome all feedback on the information presented, as well as on the alternatives recommended to be carried forward into the environmental document.